It's that time of the year again, and we should be getting a balance patch very shortly. RTA season just ended, but we are in the middle of SWC season, so keep that in mind. We shouldn't get a super crazy balance patch. It should just be a very minor one. Hopefully we see some improvements to units that have needed it for quite a while. The last balance patch, so a lot of this stuff is very similar to the last time we did one of these videos, balance patch hopefuls, because 2 months ago when we did this, the balance patch that came out right after that was a lot of things that weren't expected, like the Wind Homunculus got 5 buffs, which I don't think anyone expected that. Water Monkey got a buff. There were some things that is like, okay, that was not any of the things that really needed the needed the most attention, but like Wind Harpy, a lot of things that people didn't really expect. So a lot of these are going to be the same as before. So we'll kind of try to do this quickly. Other quality of life improvements. We've been getting so many improvements, so many changes, so many modifications to things and new content lately. I got to give Comtois credit. I'll give them credit where credit is due. They've been doing a lot of new stuff lately. Some people like it, some people don't. That's not really what we're trying to discuss right now, but I don't think that we're going to see too much extra stuff in this balance patch, especially because, like I said, we're in the middle of SWC. New packs, of course. Always new packs. Anytime there is an opportunity to put a new pack in, do we need a new pack? Nothing crazy. We've got a lot lately, and we're still in the middle of SWC season. So this is the same thing that we mentioned in the last one. He can potentially do big damage if you set things up, but so can a lot of units. That doesn't necessarily make them meta in PvP, and a lot of these things we're talking about for PvP, right? Solution, either make it easier to protect him or make the payoff more valuable. I think just making it easier to protect him is nice. Gargoyles, I've been saying this for as long as I can remember. Every time we do one of these balance patch balance patch hopefuls videos, things that I would like to see, is always the Gargoyles, and it would make them meta to just start in stone state. It's the easiest thing. I think Comtois knows this, and I think eventually they're going to do it. I feel like eventually they're going to do something like this, but yeah, because the Gargoyles just came out and they were never really got their chance to shine since the beginning, aside from like a couple. Like the Wind one is usable, Fire one is usable. Some people really hate the Fire one, and they're never going to use him regardless, but yeah, Wind one is probably the most meta. Chakra, this is a unit that's potentially really crazy, but he never quite gets there. Like, he's crazy in theory, but he never quite lasts long enough to do his crazy stuff. So, yeah, either be more effective of a nuke and changing the passive so that it doesn't need to stack, continue to stack over time, or be more of a bruiser and change the reduced cooldowns to some kind of survivability mechanic. So, pretty straightforward. These things that do the cleanse block, none of them are really super meta, like this one, and then we also have Beth. Of course, we've been talking about the same stuff for quite a while. I think if Comtois just looked at the cleanse block debuff and said, how can we change this to make it more exciting, to make it more meta, to make it more usable, then that could be where they go. Because both of these things, like anything that has the cleanse block, could be so much stronger, and they could just buff everything by just changing that debuff to work a little bit differently. So, and then we have more information, but this is like the same stuff that we've been talking about for a while. Cashmere, just some more reliability. If he was more reliable, then that he could see so much more play. Not suitable for AO because it's only single target. Not reliable enough for RTA. Only decent in Siege occasionally, but still outshined by others. Just ease the conditions for the skill. For the skill 3. What else do this is the same thing I've been complaining about. It's always the same thing I've been complaining about for as long as I can remember. But we needed those 5. We needed the 5 Wind Homunculus buffs. And then they're like, we're also, after we buffed him and everyone's like, yeah, just build a Wind Homunculus, build a Wind Homunculus. We're just going to change Giants after that. So like it's less necessary to build the Wind Homunculus. So yeah, this guy's just so situational, and then RNG can still happen after that. It's just build Hearn. Just build Hearn. She's just better. Like anything, yeah. Anyway, we have Zima. She's used in Siege a little bit. Not a fan. A lot of people are not a fan of her, but you know, some people have been using her in Siege a bit. Devil Maidens, this is new, so we can actually talk about this. So, it's still early. They haven't been super meta, but that's just how most new Nat 5s are. They release average units, plus or minus. The light one is very good. No complaints on the light one. Please do not buff the light one. Come to us, because they release average plus or minus units because people will wail on them regardless and then buff later. Some are already good, but some need tweaks. So an easy change, just for now, is this actually... Well, it's cutting off a little bit of the words, but you guys get it because I just said it. So, easy addition, adding threat state to Mischievous Trap could be an easy way to get water and dark a little bit more usability. Light is perfectly fine and needs nothing. Some people are still using the Windone and also the... I haven't checked this past week. Honestly, I've been so busy with work that I have not gotten a chance to really see who's using them in RTA. But it's really about the dark and water skill 2s. That would be just an easy add threat state. And... that could be an easy, how many times am I going to say easy in a row? That could be a very easy way to make them a little bit more useful. It would be very easy too, just in case you guys are curious. I'm going to stop now. Yeah, so, Cleanse Block on skill 3 could be really nice on him. He works well against Shizuka, Riley, Wusa, etc. currently, but this actually could be a case where Cleanse Block could be useful. I said this the last time too, the Rel thing. I did see some of you guys' comments on... oh, I don't think that this LD5 that you mentioned really needs a buff. So I was like, okay, let's not include them. I know the Light Mage got... I didn't get a chance to see too much on the Light Mage. I know we did together in videos. I think like 2 different videos. But, yeah, I took the Light Mage out of this one. Celia. From the 9,000th time. Buff Celia. This has been like 3 years, hasn't it? We've been saying, as all the Celia owners are just like, please buff Celia. Why? LD5. Okay, LD5. Win back. Actually, just got the win back on the Asia server account, so I'm sure, and kind of easy. Not easy to skill up. Less difficult to skill up, although there's a really nice Devilmon event going on right now, which I am surprised Comtours did that, but I'm not going to complain because I think we all need Devilmons. I think we all need Devilmons. I don't know anyone that doesn't need Devilmons. I know people that have stockpiles of Devilmons. They're like, oh yeah, but they're not skilling things up. They just have all of their Nat 5s not skilled up. I don't know what the point of stockpiling Devilmons is if you don't have Nat 5 skill ups. But I think the general consensus is along those is people don't know what they want to skill up. They're like, I'm not sure what I want to skill up yet, so that's why I'm just stockpiling them. Claire, I believe we did actually use Claire a little bit. Was this the one that got banned? I think we tried to use Claire, like 3 hours of me trying to put Claire in matches, and then like she got a little bit of use, and mostly she was just banned. So, I believe we actually did get like 1 90-second clip. So maybe she doesn't deserve to be here because people kept banning her. Mostly because of the ignore defense. We could have picked a lot of stuff in there though. We could have picked Kali. Kali would have been also very solid in those same situations as Claire. But yeah, I just think Kali exists and some other things exist that are very strong. You could play Claire and like if you were to try to play Claire in a turn 2, she gets CC'd or killed too easily. It'd be much better to use Douglas or Leica or some of the other fire units like that. And if you're trying to use her in turn 1, I just think there's better units. Like, she's just the weakest of the whatever. It's the same thing as before. This one, I think, again, as I mentioned in the last one, Susano passive could be very good here. Susano passive could be good here. I mean, you stick either of these, but he just makes more sense to have that passive. You stick him in there with the Susano style passive. He could be much better. He could be much more useful, much more relevant. These are the actual predictions, of course. Minor nerfs to super meta RTA units that make Summoner's War look unbalanced. Comtos will decide, I suppose, what units have been super crazy, performing better than they probably should in SWC, and they might tweak some. Like, for example, how they got the Manon nerf, how they did the Oliver nerf, I think, and also the Water Battle Angel nerf. We could see some more minor tweaks like that. Although the minor tweaks, like some of those minor tweaks, made these units not really picked very much. Like they made a significant drop off. Like in Manon, she was used so much, and now she's used. I mean, she's still used. Don't get me wrong, but she's not used anywhere as much as she was before. I know people that were using the Water Battle Angel constantly. Oliver still gets used all the time. So Oliver did not make him less meta. It just made him less ridiculous, insane, just nonsense. Oliver is still very effective even after the nerfs. But Water Battle Angel, I see a lot of people not using. I haven't been a super Water Battle Angel user in the first place. So it's just... I mean, I guess I could have used her more. Whatever. Anyway, random nat 4. But I think that we're going to see a little nerfs, little tweaks. Maybe they might be a little bit more impactful than Count to Us Intense, but we will see. Random nat 4 family buff. And then random old nat 5 family buff. Just things that people are not expecting. I did put these. These are the same ones that I mentioned the last time. But the vampires actually did get a big buff in... Well, the water one and the... light one actually did get a big buff in the last balance pass. So this was actually right on. It was just random. See, that's how you got to do it. You got to just pick a random monster. You go back, hey, I think this random monster is going to get a buff. And then Counter's like, yeah, we also picked a random monster. They just happen to be the same monster. New packs. And we should also see some new transmogs soon as well. So that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. I tried to make it quick, but you know me. If I try to make a video 3 minutes long, it will wind up being 11 minutes. Anyway, I will see you as always in the next one, which might be a balanced patch review. We will see.